I once met a woman who walked into any room and every head would turn. Not because she was beautiful, rich, or famous, but because of something you cannot buy, inherit, or fake. Magnetic presence. I asked her secret. She looked into my eyes and said, "I don't seduce anyone. I simply stopped sleeping awake." Today you will discover what George Gurdjieff, the most mysterious philosopher of the 20th century, taught about consciousness, seduction, and the invisible power that transforms ordinary people into forces of nature. In 1912, Gurdjieff shocked the intellectual elite of Moscow with a devastating statement: 99% of people live asleep. You wake up, go to work, talk, eat, feel emotions, but you are not really present. You are on autopilot. You repeat mechanical patterns. You react instead of act. And this unconsciousness is exactly what destroys your ability to seduce, to be confident, to command natural respect. Think about the last conversations you had. Were you really there, or was your mind wandering through the past and future? Were you truly listening, or just waiting for your turn to speak? Did you consciously choose your words, or did they come out automatically? Gurdjieff's first law is brutal: awaken from mechanical sleep. The practical technique is simple, but transformative. The exercise of the 3 centers. Several times a day, stop and ask, where's my attention right now? What is my body feeling at this exact moment? What emotion is present without judgment? What thought is passing through my mind? This simple act of simultaneous observation of the 3 centers, body, emotion, and intellect, creates real presence. And real presence is pure magnetism. People sense when you are truly present because it is so rare that it becomes irresistible. But awakening to yourself is only the beginning. The next law attacks something you do every day without realizing it, and which drains all your personal power. Gurdjieff observed something disturbing about human behavior. People constantly lie, but not to others. To themselves. You say you will change, but you don't. You promise you will act, but you stay put. You claim you are confident, but your actions show fear. This disconnection between what you say you are and what you really are creates an energetic dissonance that everyone around you unconsciously detects. You can deceive with words, but you cannot deceive the vibration. The second law is liberating: stop lying to yourself about who you are. Do not fake courage you don't feel. Do not project security you lack. Do not simulate interest that doesn't exist. Gurdjieff called this brutal sincerity with oneself. The exercise is painful but necessary. List 5 things about yourself that you hate to admit. I avoid conflict because I am afraid of rejection. I constantly seek validation on social media. I pretend to understand things I don't. Now, instead of hiding these truths, accept them as a starting point. You cannot transform what you do not recognize. When you stop spending energy maintaining a false image, that energy transforms into genuine charisma. People feel the difference between someone who is trying to impress and someone who simply is. But recognizing your internal lies is not enough. You need to understand the invisible mechanics that control your reactions. In 1922, Gurdjieff demonstrated something that left his students in shock. He showed how a simple insult could make an intelligent and balanced person transform into an angry child in seconds. How? Because we all have invisible buttons that, when pressed, activate automatic and predictable reactions. The third law is strategic: identify and disarm your emotional triggers. Think about the last time you lost your composure. Did someone disrespect you? Did someone ignore you? Did someone question your competence? What really hit you was not the external event, it was the internal button that was pressed. Perhaps your fear of not being good enough. Perhaps your neurotic need to always be right. Perhaps your childhood wound of abandonment. The trigger mapping exercise works like this. Over the next 2 weeks, every time you react emotionally out of proportion, write it down. What was the event? What was my reaction? What fear or need does this reaction reveal? After mapping your main triggers, you can start disarming them. How? By deliberately exposing yourself to them in controlled doses while maintaining conscious observation. If you get irritated when someone ignores you, observe that irritation without acting on it. Feel the emotion completely, but do not be dominated by it. Over time, the trigger loses power. And when your buttons no longer work, you become impossible to manipulate. But there is something even deeper about real confidence that few understand. Why do some people enter a room and everyone immediately stops talking? Why do certain individuals have a presence that occupies the space without effort? Gurdjieff discovered that the physical body communicates much more than words. The way you move, how you breathe, how you occupy space, all of this transmits unconscious messages about your internal state. The fourth law is revolutionary: master the language of your conscious body. Most people move in a disjointed, scattered, anxious way. Tense shoulders, shallow breathing, nervous gestures, fleeting gaze. Every movement screams insecurity. Gurdjieff taught specific exercises for physical presence. The most powerful is conscious walking. For 5 minutes a day, walk paying full attention to every movement. Feel your foot touching the ground. Observe the natural swing of your arms. Keep your spine straight without rigidity. Breathe deeply through the diaphragm. This simple practice reprograms your physical presence. You begin to move with a different quality, centered, rooted, deliberate. And people respond to this viscerally. Confidence is not a mental feeling, it is a bodily state. When your body is present, your confidence becomes real. But even with mastered physical presence, you can waste your power if you don't understand the next law about social energy. Have you ever noticed how some people drain your energy while others energize you? It's not imagination. Gurdjieff taught that there is an invisible economy of energy between human beings. Unconscious people function as energetic vampires. They constantly complain, create unnecessary drama, compulsively seek attention, suck validation without ever giving anything back. And if you don't consciously protect your energy, you feed these vampires until you are empty. The fifth law is defensive: establish relentless energetic boundaries. This doesn't mean being cold or cruel. It means recognizing that your energy is your most valuable resource, and you decide how to invest it. The social triage exercise works like this. Divide the people around you into 3 categories. Energizers are those who leave you feeling more alive, more inspired, more yourself. Neutrals are the functional and necessary interactions. Vampires are those who leave you exhausted, frustrated, diminished. Now, make a radical decision. Deliberately increase time with energizers. Keep neutrals to what is necessary. Drastically reduce or eliminate vampires. But they are family, you might think. It doesn't matter. Energetic protection is not optional if you want to have real power to seduce, create, lead. When you stop wasting energy on people who don't deserve it, you become a natural magnet for those who truly matter. But protecting your energy is useless if you don't know how to direct it strategically. And this is where Gurdjieff reveals something about attention that few master. In 1924, Gurdjieff conducted a fascinating experiment. He asked his students to converse with strangers using 2 different modes. First mode, divided attention. While talking, part of the mind was thinking about other things. Second mode, total attention. Absolute presence in every word, every gesture, every silence. The result was impressive. In the first mode, conversations were forgettable. In the second mode, people were magnetically attracted, wanted to continue talking, and felt a deep connection. The sixth law is magnetic: give total attention as if it were the rarest commodity in the world. Because it is. We live in an era of fragmented attention. Everyone checks their phone in the middle of a conversation. No one truly listens. Everyone waits for their turn to speak. So when you offer genuine and complete attention, you become extraordinary by contrast. The magnetic listening technique works like this. When someone talks to you, put your phone away. Look them in the eyes without intimidating. Do not interrupt. Do not plan your answer while the person speaks. Just absorb what is being said. Ask questions that show you genuinely listened. Repeat the person's words to confirm understanding. This level of attention is so rare that it creates an unforgettable impression. People leave the conversation thinking, "This person really saw me." And being truly seen is one of the most seductive experiences that exists. But even mastering all these techniques, there is one last layer about respect that transcends everything. What made Gurdjieff respected by intellectuals, artists, scientists, and even military men? It wasn't his knowledge. Many knew more than him in specific areas. It wasn't his eloquence. He was sometimes deliberately obscure. It was something deeper. He lived according to his own principles, without exception. The seventh law is unshakable: become unbreakable to your own standards. Most people have values that change with convenience. They are honest when it's easy, but lie when it's convenient. They are disciplined when they are motivated, but give up when it gets difficult. They are loyal when it costs nothing, but betray when there is an advantage. This inconsistency erodes respect because people feel you have no center, no anchor, no word. Gurdjieff taught, choose 3 non-negotiable principles and obey them religiously, even when no one is looking. For example, I do not lie, even when the truth harms me. I keep my word, even when I regret giving it. I face my fears, even when it's easier to run away. When you live like this consistently, something interesting happens. You stop respecting yourself conditionally and start respecting yourself unconditionally. And when you truly respect yourself, others have no choice but to do the same. The final exercise is simple but transformative. Over the next 30 days, choose one small but significant principle. It can be waking up at the time you set, it can be not complaining for an entire day, it can be exercising even when tired. Obey this principle with 0 exceptions. Every day you comply, you strengthen your internal integrity. And integrity is the invisible foundation of respect. Now you know the 7 fundamental laws that Gurdjieff taught about presence, seduction, and personal power. Awaken from mechanical sleep. Stop lying to yourself. Disarm your emotional triggers. Master conscious body language. Protect your energy relentlessly. Give total attention as a rare commodity. Live by unshakable principles. But there is an 8th law, the deepest of all, which Gurdjieff reserved only for his most advanced students, and which reveals the true secret behind all real human transformation.